One on?
Yep.
All right.
Can everybody hear us? I'm wondering if there's a lag.
Hey, there we are. There is a lag, yeah.
Hi, guys.
All right.
It says we've been live for 24 seconds. Can everybody hear us?
Yeah, let us know if you can hear us. We're a little behind on the thing. How do I fix this here?
It should scroll down.
I know.
We'll let a few more people get on, maybe.
Maybe we'll get to 10. Jesse is soft sounding. What's in the mug? Medicine.
I have a cold. So
We both have colds. That's probably why we sound a little...
Yeah, a little muffly. This is, yeah, some homebrew. We'll put it that way.
Mug club.
Yep. And I also have water here, but this is more for helping my voice because you can't really hear me.
Hot toddy.
Sorry, I'll stop eating.
What's a hot toddy?
Something like that. Yeah, you could say that, a hot toddy.
What's a hot toddy?
It's some sort of a cocktail.
Oh.
Yeah. Cool.
It's weird not being able to hear.
Yeah, so interacting is kind of different.
What camera are you using? Looks good.
We're actually using a
Hi, John.
iPhone 10. It's just my phone because we don't have internet at our house, so we're just streaming off of our data plan. We have unlimited data through our carrier, and that's actually, we use our phones as hotspots. That's how we upload. That's how we do everything. So as you can imagine, sometimes we have some pretty expensive cell phone bills.
Roxanne says whiskey, honey, and lemon heated is a hot toddy.
Well, there's definitely whiskey in that. I will say that. So.
Farm alarm. I will yell louder so you can hear me better. Thanks. That
Awesome.
helps.
Awesome. So.
I know you guys had a lot of fun, Kinfolk, on yours. It seemed like it was fun watching you guys.
Hey Shane, what's up, guys? I talked to Travis this afternoon. Actually, I talked to him for almost an hour. He was at work, so he must have been. He was working while I was talking to him. So. Yeah.
So.
It's weird because I look over here at the screen. We have the computer up to kind of follow along and see the live chat. And I look over at the screen and it's like 3 seconds behind of what I'm actually doing. Or maybe not 3 seconds, maybe like 2 seconds.
Do you moisturize your beard? It looks so luxurious. Hey now.
I just got out of the shower, actually. I took a hike today with the kids, and so I had to check for ticks. Moisty. Is that farm alarm?
Crazy.
So.
His head's so big now. Your head is a little big.
My head is big? Is it because of my hat or?
I don't know. Shane said that, but I don't know what he means. What do you mean?
Travis's head.
Oh.
No, it was good conversating with him. Good conversating with him.
You know.
Yeah.
So, where are you guys at? Some of these people on here, maybe we don't know where they are. Like, well, we know where Kinfolk is and Farm Alarm. Some of you guys, we don't know where you are. Where are you guys from? Hi, Danny.
Danny?
New Mexico.
Cool, New Mexico. That's a place I'd really like to go actually see.
Ohio.
Ohio? Awesome.
My brother's on here.
I've been to Ohio.
Upstate New York. Wow. Everywhere. Tracy's standing behind us.
Oh.
Creepy. Arkansas, Four Corners. In Kinfolk Farm upstairs. Michigan, Florida. That's
we're,
so cool,
we're at
guys.
Miami, Florida.
Miami.
That's awesome. I've been to Miami, Oklahoma. I don't know that I've ever been to
Probably
Miami,
not. Probably
Florida.
not the same.
Yeah, probably not as quite as
Tropical.
tropical. Yeah.
Mississippi.
Awesome.
Fun. Oh, I can hear the baby.
Yeah.
We bribed the kids with granola bars and Minecraft to go in their room for a little while.
Because as you can imagine, with 7 kids, there's quite a bit of noise that happens in this house. So it's actually kind of scary how quiet it is in this house right now, actually, because there's pretty much constant noise, which is how we kind of like it, actually.
National parks. Oh, we want to go to Yellowstone really bad.
Yeah, that's definitely one of our bucket list trips. Well, I would say once some of the kids get older and depending on what level of the farm running the farm we get to, that's probably something we would probably want to do. But everybody we've talked to that's gone has said plan on taking over a week. Like give yourself plenty of time to do everything you want to do. So we have some friends that went. We have 2 sets of friends that have gone, and every one of them says they wish they could have spent more time. So it'll be something. We'll have to really plan it out. So
the quail are doing good. They started laying eggs again. It's like they have these spurts where they'll lay a bunch and then they'll stop for a couple months and then they'll lay some. So they just started laying. We just got like 4 this week.
Yeah, we still
White House. Hey.
We still probably have too many roosters for our hens. I think we have like 9 hens and we still have like 5 or 6 roosters. So we probably need to cull some of our roosters. It's just one of those things where I'm surprised at how hardy these quail have been, because I've always been told that quail are not hardy, and these things are.
They won't die.
Well, that's terrible.
No,
but
I mean, not that I've tried.
They are. They're really.
They're not my favorite.
They've really kind of thrived with minimal attention. I mean, they're not like our focus.
They're not neglected,
animal.
but
Right.
they don't take hardly any care at all.
They don't eat a lot of food. Right now we have them penned in our barn, and they seem to be doing really good. I mean, they look healthy. Yeah.
Oh, I'm reading.
So we don't have. That's the biggest thing for us. Like we've kind of have gone away from, or we kind of don't pay attention to quail because they just don't produce. Like I mean, they're good to eat, and the eggs are great, but we don't get a lot of eggs, and we don't have a lot of them. So for a family like our size, I just don't think they're
efficient.
Yeah, they're just not really. I mean, they're kind of more of a
like a hobby.
Yeah, I mean, but I do think, like, I really do think that somebody that, say they lived in an apartment or had limited space, they would be a great animal for that. And I mean, they're quick to mature. I mean, like, I think it's 8 weeks they go from egg to laying eggs. So
From hatching to laying eggs.
yeah, hatching to laying eggs. So that's a pretty quick turnaround. But
stick with the chickens. I agree, and I don't know. The eggs are cool, but I don't really like the quail. I think we should spend our time on other things.
And that's kind of why we haven't really pursued a whole lot more. The quail was just honestly was more of a I really wanted to. I had some thoughts. I'm a little bit of a dreamer, if you haven't been able to tell. So I had some thoughts at the time. I was actually buddies with a guy that was a gun. He's a big gun dog guy, and so he does gun dog stuff. And I was like, hey, if I started raising quail, and do you think there's like any kind of a market for sportsmen out there that would take, that would buy quail, because some of those hunts that they do and things like that, they plant quail out there and they actually put them in little cages, and then they have a foothold, and then they flush them with that. And So he said, yeah, there was a market for it, but it's just kind of who you know. Well, I mean, he was pretty connected, so I wanted to try quail for that. And then I thought eggs, I thought hatching the eggs in 8 weeks was really cool. When we hatched them in like I think we started, they hatched like Labor Day of last year. We got 4 eggs like 8 weeks later, and then it obviously got dark over the winter, and they just quit laying,
Yeah.
and they didn't start laying again until this spring. They started laying again in February. They laid for a real good for like probably 3 or 4 weeks, and then they quit again. And now I think they went through a molt, honestly, and now they're starting to lay again. So
Let's see. Quail seem to be nasty. I don't think that they are. I mean, they're really pretty, and they're pretty clean the way that we have them set up. When are the pigs coming?
pigs are going to be here early June sometime. I actually went by there today and saw both of our pigs. I think those are the only two left on the farm, or the only two piglets left on the farm. I think the other guy had a sow that had some room, so he got the other ones. And I don't know if that's what the guy was telling me he was gonna do. So we're gonna pick them up in June. So they should be about 2 months old at the time when we pick them up.
We thought about doing rabbits. We bought the cages and everything. But why did we not do rabbits? I can't remember why we decided not to.
I mean, the main reason was we just felt like we prefer, like we've tried rabbit, we enjoy rabbit, we've had rabbit to eat, but we just kind of preferred chicken over rabbit, and it really just wasn't a good. It seemed like it might be a little more labor intensive as far as the breeding part, and there was just more. There was a learning curve that we weren't really ready to accept at the time. That was my reasonings, and
I think we had a bunch of chickens.
Yeah.
that we were doing the meat birds and the turkeys and stuff
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, and I was pregnant, so I didn't feel very good. And
Yeah.
so I think that kind of factored into it also.
We kind of I think last fall we really just we probably had the opportunity to expand on a few things that we just didn't take those opportunities. Just with the baby coming and things like that, it just didn't make sense for us, and so.
Yeah, guys, post your questions in all caps. That way they're easier to see. They kind of stand out. What pigs are we getting? We're getting a mixed breed.
They are the pigs that we're getting are a Berkshire red wattle cross. So the mom is red wattle, and the boar or the hog is a Berk. It's actually a Berk cross, so it's not actually a purebred Berk. So they both have both of the pigs we're getting a female, and then a male. But we castrated him the day I was on the farm, in that video, actually, or not in the video, the day that video was made. So and he was right at almost a month old at that time.
Keto says, still no new arrow on the wall. Not yet. I'm busy. I don't think about what's on my walls a lot of times.
Yeah, what are we at? 6 up there. We need a 7th.
I know.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying hi to White House. Who cares about ArrowRidge? White House is here. Let's see. I think I skipped one. Hold on, let me go back. Nope. Try to make money. Try to find a way to make money on everything. I think that's really good advice, kinfolk. We are looking into some different avenues of making money.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things that we have talked about ad nauseum, because for anybody that's out there in homesteads or runs a small farm, the cost is crazy when you don't. The cost of the time spent and then the dollar amount that you spend on that. Like, if we didn't love what we did, we would not do it. I mean, it's not like we're going broke doing it, but there's a lot of our expendable income, I guess, goes towards raising our own food.
Hi, Roxanne.
And so, yeah, creating an income on our farm is definitely one of our big goals for the next 18 months to a year. You know, whether that's through YouTube, whether that's through, um, we talked to a family at Baker Creek that was really interesting. Their model seemed to be, again, I didn't get real big into it, and I've looked at it, some of their stuff on their channel, but they raise a lot of their own table fare. It's Family Farm. Yeah, VW Family Farm. They raise a lot of their own table fare, and but how they supplement that is they actually sell the extras. So like they have a breeding sow that they breed pigs, or that they breed every year, and then they sell the extras and they keep what they need for their table fare. And that's actually something that we're kind of exploring right now. We were exploring actually before I found that, but seeing that that model is working for them is kind of encouraging. And then we've thought a lot about other animals, and like we have a limited amount of space here. I mean, we've got 20 some odd acres, but there's about, I would say it would we could probably raise up 2 beef steers on it, maybe at the max, and that's feeding a lot of hay in the winter, and that's probably grazing our pasture really heavily, and that's not really something I'm wanting to do. We really want to build up our property. We want to make it better than when we got it. So we're trying to manage right now like our pastures with chickens and things like that. But I've really been watching a lot of and reading a lot of rotational grazing stuff, and so that's something that really interests me. So at some point there's going to be ruminants on this farm, but I don't know. We haven't decided 100% what it'll be.
Danny thinks that is it me that looks like crazy Russian hackers? I don't know who that is. And sound like her without accent. Cool.
Crazy Russian hacker.
Ducks that are stinking, I would say move them around more.
Get them moving.
Get them on fresh. If you have them like penned out in the yard or whatever, get them moved around a lot more.
Ducks are or freshen or put them on a deep bed, but ducks are really hard on a deep bed. They don't. Ducks are really hard on whatever you put them on. They're just what our experience with ducks is not.
I'll have to look them up, Danny.
Positive.
Is there a difference between hobby farming and homesteading? I think, to me, homesteading to me, we always say that we're farmers. To me, the idea of homesteading is like building it from the ground up and building a house, and we haven't built our house, so that's just us. I don't consider us homesteaders because of that, but I know a lot of people do anyway. And then hobby farming, I think, is like geared towards specific avenues of making money. Maybe.
I would flip that around. I would say we are homesteaders because we moved.
I think we're in the general.
Yeah.
General.
Yeah, but I would say a hobby farmer is somebody who runs a petting zoo. That's how I would.
It could be like. You could do bees and make like specific types of thing, like bees and honey, or maybe like goat milk soap. I think that's what I think of hobby farming is like.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It's this or it's this or it's this or it's this, and homesteading is like everything.
Trying to be. Maybe. I think the idea of homesteading is you're trying to be as sustainable as possible. And raising Jesse's the video that Jesse did last time, the last video we put out was I thought talked about it because I think Maya from Roots and Refuge had said they were trying to raise 85% of their food on their own, and I think so if you're trying to raise your own food, I think you're doing some form of homesteading. But a homesteader, I think the actual meaning of the word is someone who strikes out. And it comes from the whole idea of there was free land and you had to go homestead it. You had to go make a home. You had to create an income or create a subsistence type living off of
Thank you, Katie.
That land. What'd Katie say? I can't read the chat.
Love your vlogs and everything you guys work on. Are you guys having buffering issues? I know we are on the laptop. Can you be both? Definitely, I think so. Homesteaders and hobby farmers. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I think so.
I mean, I don't know who asked that question, but I think
White
I
House.
okay. Well, I think that's a perfect example. I think they are doing a lot of different things on their farm that maybe aren't exactly conventional. I mean, raising emus, I don't think is necessarily conventional, but
No, to buffer and
it's still cool. And they raise a lot. I know they raise a garden. I know they do their own meat birds.
They sell their eggs.
Yeah. So I think you can do both for sure. I think generally homesteading it goes hand in hand with farming or small farming. I think there's a lot of small farms that just basically raise a lot of their own table fare. And you know, I was driving today. I went to pick up feed. I go to a different town to pick up feed, and I was driving today. And as I was running down the highway, there was a commercial on there for Roundup. Not Roundup. It wasn't a commercial. It was like a
Go
public
for it.
service announcement for Roundup and like a class action lawsuit about Roundup causing cancer. And as I'm driving through the countryside, I see entire fields that have been Rounduped. Just and like again, I don't know a lot of row croppers or massive farms like that, but that's the practice that they're growing food that could be going to your animals, that could be going into your stuff that you're buying at the grocery store, and they're killing off their entire fields with Roundup. So I think that's one of the things, like as far as the homesteading community is really about people who are educating themselves on some of the dangers of some of the practices that are used that may not be as again, I'm not a scientist. I can't tell you if that causes cancer or not. I don't know, but I do think that we stopped using Roundup probably 2-3 years ago, and
Well,
just because we're not sure, so we don't want to use it on our property, so we're pretty much chemical free. But I think homesteaders are people that are educating themselves on and want to know where their food comes from, and hobby farmers probably the same way. They're trying to raise something that has more of a connection with your food. Um, you know, I'm a hunter, and so I think that is one of the purest forms of organic food you can get. Um, Again, I don't enjoy going and taking the life of something else, but I am very conscious of that animal is going to feed my family for months or multiple meals, and that's something I really, really, I kind of like a lot. So,
Yes to Pharmacy Friday, you guys. I'm gonna be doing some more. If you don't know about that, we have a playlist about that, and that's just me talking about different herbs and different plants that you can use medicinally that are just kind of out there growing wild. Kinfolk lost 5 hives this winter, maybe to Roundup across the street.
really,
Homestead and Hustle, that's a cool name. Hi guys. Wow, we hit 30. I'm pretty
That's
impressed
awesome.
with that. So let me ask you guys a question. We have some questions that we wanted to ask. We asked where everyone's from. Oh, what's your guys' favorite thing to grow? We'll start with that one. Oh, Cog Hill Farm thinks they lost their bees that way too. That's really terrible. How can you tell if you over fertilize? I think a lot of plants will get burned out that way if you over fertilize. Won't they?
Yeah, it depends on what kind of fertilizer you're using. Fertilizer you're using, but normally fertilizers have nitrogen or something like that in it, and they'll burn up. Yeah, most of the time they'll burn up.
Creatively 11 planted a cherry tree. That's really cool. We want to do more fruit trees.
I think you missed a question. Somebody asked a question.
No. Oh, did we have fun at Baker Creek? Yeah, we did. It was a lot of fun. We got to meet a lot of new
Now
people
you're
this
getting
year.
squeaky.
I know, it's terrible. Jalapenos, kale, Brussels sprouts. I've never had Brussels sprouts. But it looks like a fun plant. Okra is really easy. Watermelon, black and purple tomatoes.
I can get behind some watermelon.
Children. That's Ben. Okra, herbs and berries. Some Max Happy Homestead said that's a loaded question, which makes me think of loaded baked potatoes. So potatoes are fun. I'm kind of hungry.
If you can get them to grow.
I meant plants. I didn't mean plants, but kids count too.
Kids are fun. Kids are awesome.
Blackberries.
We've
got have a lot of blackberries.
We've got to get some blackberries.
I know.
We've got to get some blackberries.
I just ordered some mulberries from Baker Creek last night. Mulberry plants.
Yep.
Happy
Mother's Day, by the way. Happy Mother's to all you mothers out there.
We had, at our old house, we had this huge mulberry tree. It was kind of in our yard, kind of in the neighbors, so we shared it. But he was a single guy, and he just let us climb into it and get them. But the kids would climb like almost all the way to the top. It was humongous.
And
we'd stand on the car and pick the mulberries, and we'd make jam and stuff. It was really fun.
It was probably 40, 50 feet tall. It was a huge tree.
And Charlotte would go just shimmying right up there.
Yeah.
She's crazy like that.
Yeah. Charlotte is definitely our fearless one.
What type of berries thrive in full sun? I'd say, well, blackberries, raspberries. Those are really the only ones I know. Strawberries.
Yeah, any berry that I've only
any wild berries are always
grown
seems
blueberries.
To be in
That's the only other berry I've ever grown. So we had blueberries on our farm growing up when I was a kid. And
Hi, Homestead Remembrance. Thank you. Can't grow cactus. I seem to kill all of our inside plants. I can grow outside plants. Flowers I have a hard time with. So I'm trying cactuses and trying succulents this year.
Succulents, yeah. You like to grow succulents.
Thank you, Amanda. That's really sweet. I really like your questions that you always ask me, Amanda. White House, how many kids do you want? Well, we want all the ones that we have. For sure. We'll keep those.
All those we're keeping.
They're all right. Otherwise, mind your own business.
Yeah. As far as family planning, I don't know if we have enough time to get into all that here. The question is, how many do you want? How many do you all have out there?
How many do you guys have? Do you guys have kids? I mean, all of you, not just White House. We know how many they have. Katie has 7. Which of the kids knows the animals best? Well, they each do a different chore for animals. I think Ethan's really getting good at seeing how the chickens are growing and seeing what they need, or if he needs to change things up. He's pretty good about that.
Yeah.
The other ones can kind of be more aloof sometimes.
Charlotte has a really she has a good eye for anything that's if there's something maybe not quite right with a chicken or one of the cats or something like that. She's definitely attentive to what they have going on. But I'd say the oldest 2 are probably the best at picking it out. Now, tonight I had to go check on the meat chick because Judah said one of them was acting weird, so I went out and checked on the meat chick. One of his chores is feeding them right now and making sure they have water, and it was not a big deal. There was nothing going on with it. It was just acting a little different, I guess.
You guys have a lot of kids too. 6, 5, 7.
Keto has 7. I saw that come up across there.
Yeah.
They're kind of our
5 girls and 2 boys.
5 girls
and 2 boys.
2 boys.
Creatively, what happened?
What was that?
Creatively said they had a bad day. Let's go back. I think it is tornado season. Oh, your duck died. Sorry.
That's too bad.
Your oldest stepped on your carrots. That's funny.
That wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah. They do pretty good though. I mean, I think they do.
Yeah,
Carrots, they come back.
We have a 2-year-old that he's going to be difficult to keep out of anything we do. He's kind of
Well, Mitchell, that's cool. You were probably, well, maybe one of our youngest people that watch. He's 16. That's awesome. 7 grandkids. Very cool, guys. Sorry we're losing our voices.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. We decided to do it live, and then we both lost our voices this week.
So Ashley, Mrs. Farm Alarm, asked us what our favorite part of being YouTubers is. What's your favorite part of being a YouTuber?
Well, I think for me, my favorite part of being a YouTuber is the community. I've got to meet people and talk to people across this great country and across the world. And
Bye, Keto.
And I think that has been the most cool thing for me, or what I like most about it. And then learning. I mean, we'll put out videos sometimes, and obviously, guys, we're not experts on a lot of what we do. Obviously, but you know, it's really amazing to hear the amount of information, and some of it is really good. Or a lot of it is really good that comes back. The feedback is something that I think I really enjoy. Is, hey, you know, try this, or hey, you're doing it wrong. We've had that before too, and that's good to kind of have. And then kind of just seeing, we can go back and look our first year of kind of capturing it on film and having kind of what we did our first year, and then this year, the difference. You know, some of it, you know, like we haven't been doing updates on our meat birds, but we kind of have a plan. We kind of used what we did last year from our meat birds to kind of develop our plan for this year. And so that's kind of what I enjoy about it. What about you? What do you enjoy?
I like interacting with you guys in the comments a lot. And you guys asking us questions, or me getting to ask you guys questions. I like actually making the videos and editing, because it's a really creative process, and I really like that. I don't feel like I get to be creative as much as I used to be.
Yeah.
And so it's really fun to make the videos and to like think out what we're gonna video that day, and how I want it to play out in my mind, and try to make that happen on the video. Hey Stivers, I just found you guys not too long ago. How do you start a YouTube channel? Well, you should talk about that, because I have no idea.
How do you start a YouTube channel? Well, it's really simple. Start videoing yourself, and then you got to have a way to upload your videos and a way to edit your videos. But if you practice, you can. I mean, honestly, like we do a lot of ad lib in what we video. Like we don't normally sit down and go, hey, this is what I'm gonna say at this moment. So it's just documenting yourself and what you do on a daily basis. And if you're gonna want to do the daily, if you want to do topical videos, sometimes it really does help to sit down and jot your notes down. But it's just something that we kind of fell into by accident. I always thought we could, and I think she was on the other end of it. She was like, no, there's no way. And now I think she actually enjoys it just as much, if not more, than I do now. Putting together, kind of telling our story and putting that together is just something we really enjoy. So the answer to that question is just start. Just start. Find a way and start, and it'll happen. And again, for us, it's not about our subscriber count. It's not really about our I mean, obviously, we would like it to be. We would like it to be a source of income or a, a vehicle for us to further our farming and our families. I guess road. But when we started, that was definitely not what it was about. It was
And I
more about capturing our family and what we do and showing people that, hey, you can go do this.
and I think you have to get past looking at the subscriber count as like a validation of who you are. It is validating in the sense that people obviously enjoy what you're showing and what you're doing and the hard work, validating for the hard work that you've put into making your channel and growing your farm or whatever you're videoing. And that's a validation in itself, but you just like me, I try not to look at it so much. And lately, it has been going up because of Baker Creek and because of other channels that have
Yeah.
really helped us out, which is really nice. But it's not who you are as a person, really.
Well, and the other thing I would tell you is we went and hung out with some friends at Baker Creek. You know, Farm Alarm, we've known them now for a couple years. White House, we've known them for a couple years. And I will tell you, both of them have a lot greater subscriber counts than us. But they're normal people. Sorry guys, sorry to call you guys out on the video, but you're normal people. You're good people. We enjoy. We have things in common. We can talk to them about, and so it's you don't have to be famous or special to go do YouTube. I think that's
cool.
what's great
We're
about
not cool.
or cool, yeah, because we're not cool. I think that's what's great about the platform. I think you can document your everyday life, whatever you've got going on. If you're just gardening, there's a lot of great channels out there that are just specifically for gardening. There's a lot of great channels out there that are homesteads. There's goofy channels out there. It's the platform allows you to kind of be what you're going to be for the most part.
All right, we're getting backed up on questions. So if we don't get to your question right away, we're trying to get to them.
Yeah.
What are some resources you've been using to learn about homestead? Lots and lots of books, lots of other YouTube channels.
We like to read. I think in the winter, we kind of follow that whole thought process of you work really hard through the spring, summer, and fall, and then in the winter you kind of hibernate, rest, recover, and make your plan for the next year. That's what we've always done. So and then obviously the internet, YouTube. There's a lot of great resources out there. As far as go-to books, I really like the way Joe Salatin views the world. So a lot of my intake is authors that either himself or authors that he's kind of encouraged me to, or encourages or touts, I guess.
And I like the nonfiction books, like specifically geared toward different topics. But I also like the novels. Forrest Pritchard has a really great one called Gaining Ground that I read like every winter, and it's about him bringing back his family's farm into more of a Salatin style farm. Megan wants to know what's our favorite thing about our farm. I just love that our kids are able to grow up here because I lived on a farm when I was young and I just loved it, and I always wanted that for my kids. And so to see them playing out in the woods or being around the chickens and being comfortable with the animals and taking care of them and just being free out here to be kids is really awesome. So I think that's my favorite thing.
I think I would echo that a little bit, but I think for me, it's the promise of work and reward. So you put something in, whatever your input is, which for us it's just been work, and we've reaped the rewards of that. And I think that's my favorite thing about our farm is that we've been able to see that firsthand and learn, and and the views are awesome too. I can't tell you, when we were looking for a place to land, we always knew we were not where we were supposed to be. And I can't tell you how many times we drove in this area for months, and always thought, man, this is a long ways out here. And then when we finally found this place, it was just like, yep, this is where we're supposed to be, and the views are awesome, are really awesome. So we live in some pretty country.
What is our experience for how we've grown on YouTube? How do you grow on YouTube? Your experience. Don't be afraid to reach out to people and have that community with people that are, small or large channels. We found that even the larger channels are very helpful and very encouraging, and I think generally this whole group of homesteader YouTubes really want each other to succeed, and they want to encourage each other, and so that's really neat, that community. And I think they're very helpful in encouraging. It's not a competition. It's more like they just want other people to succeed as well. So
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I mean, I think it's really simple. Just be authentic, be real. You don't have to overproduce. You're not making a TV show, or it's entertainment in real life. The way I look at it, So we get into discussions all the time about like her editing process versus my editing process is a lot different. Like you'll be able to see if I start editing. I haven't been editing lately, but if I start editing again, I'm very direct, to the point. It's no fluff, no like.
There's a big difference.
B-roll is a bad word to me, but I understand the need for it. But yeah, it's. I think it's just be authentic, and if what you're doing is interesting, people are gonna find it. Again, there's the whole algorithm thing and all that. I don't pretend to sit here and understand that, but I think networking is key. Also, it's not.
That's what I was using, networking, or I was thinking networking.
Yeah, I think, and not. She made a really good point. Don't be afraid to ask. Walk up to the bigger channel if you're at an event and ask them for an interview. If they give you one, that's great. If they don't, then at least you have them appearing on their on your channel, and So.
What's the best tool that's easy to use for gardening? A shovel. I don't know. I like, what's that the little tiller, garden weasel. I like that.
Yeah, we have a garden weasel, but I mean our garden's big enough. We don't really use it as much anymore. I would say a hand trowel is actually the best thing. So.
Do we have any future plans for growing your farm, or additions you hope to add soon? I really want to add dairy goats. Should I not have said that?
No, you're fine.
Never mind.
I'm giving you a
hard
time.
No. Dairy goats. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say yes. I would love to. I'd love it. I love cows. I've always loved cows. So at some point I would see us doing that, and we would probably expand at that point. We probably wouldn't buy ground though. Probably just lease would be is more or less where I'm at, because if you're in the land business or around the land business, land is really expensive. Somebody cracking on me?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Georgia is cute, isn't she?
You got to tell everybody what you're laughing at.
Okay, well, they can read it too.
Okay.
Someone said Georgia's really cute, and I agree.
Well, I can't read anything.
All right, so hold on. I have to get to some of these questions. Stormy wants to know, what animals have been your favorite and easiest to keep? What garden vegetable has been easiest to grow? Okra is super easy. You throw it in the ground, and it comes up, and it doesn't stop.
Yep.
What animals have been your favorites?
Chickens.
Because they're so cute, and then when they grow up, they have such awesome personalities. I mean, you can name them if you want, and you know which ones have the personalities, and they play with each other, and they fight, and they steal food from each other. They're just really fun to watch.
We still go out and watch our chickens. I mean, we've had chickens now for going on 3 years, and we still go out and watch our chickens just as a form of entertainment.
We have not tried growing rhubarb. I've never had rhubarb. I mean, it's like that.
I have. I like
red
rhubarb.
sticks.
Yeah.
What do you want to build this year? Pig pen.
Yeah, pig pen is the big one.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Sewing Your Heart wants to know, what would you say is your niche in which you are YouTubing on? I was just thinking about that the other day. Well, I think chickens right now, obviously. You sound just as bad as I do.
I know. I thought it was funny. You would say what?
Chickens. Well.
No, I would say
I
it's
think, like,
large
our
family.
big family, yeah.
Large family would be. I mean, I think probably. I mean, we don't. Our kids are obviously a part of our channel. You know, I guess the more we grow, the more we have to have that conversation of, you know, we never want to. I guess one of the struggles we have is how much is too much to put our kids on the channel, because kids are a big part of our life. We're a large family. We have kids all around us all the time, but you know, we have to protect them as well and their innocence, and we never force our kids to be in a video. If they say we don't want to be in this video, they're not.
Like the one where we showed them doing chores, I asked each one of them if they would want to do it, and they all agreed.
Yeah, and then like,
we don't want it to be something that they resent when they're older.
Right, or come to even crave. Like, even like Jet sometimes gets a little bit of a big head about it, so we have to be like, no, buddy, that's not what it's about, you know. So
some White House wants to know our Baker Creek story meeting a 100,000 sub channel for the first time. Who are they again? I can't remember.
What now?
White House wants to know our Baker Creek story meeting a 100,000 sub channel for the first time.
So,
in a word, glorious, I think comes to mind.
No, well, I think he's talking about Dirt Patch Heaven. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Julie. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to our friend Jake from White House on the Hill, and he says, you should go interview that person over there. And he goes, both of those are YouTube people. And one was Lorella from Not a Farm Girl. And the other one was, is it Julian from Dirt Patch Heaven?
Yeah. Hold on, wait. Stormy says, please say hi. Hi, Albany, Legend, and Rio. I'm so glad that you guys are watching. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great to have kids on here and kids that like what we're doing, like this whole thing of homesteading and animals and stuff. So.
That is awesome.
Hi, guys. Do we have flooding? Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We're up on a hill, though, so we're safe. Okay, go ahead with the story.
So anyways, I go talk to both of these ladies. I had only seen Lorella's, or no, I hadn't seen any of them. I don't watch a lot of YouTube.
I knew who Dirt Patch Heaven was.
Yeah. And I kept calling Lorella Dirt Patch. So that was my first encounter.
And then
I goofed it all up.
You wanted to do a video with them. So I was super embarrassed because we were really new at that point to interviewing people, and I still hate interviewing people. I just get nervous and uncomfortable. So I took the kids and went off, and he took the camera and went over, and you asked like one question.
Yeah.
And it was like,
it wasn't good.
If
you want to see it, it's still on.
It's
our
like,
channel.
what do you like at Baker Creek? Okay, thanks, bye.
Thanks, bye. Yeah, I so.
Lots of vegetables will grow in our clay. I mean, I don't know. What do you think grows best here? We've had pretty good success with everything, especially if you mend it with like chicken manure or rabbit manure or compost.
Compost,
stuff like that.
yeah.
You just got to really take care of it and get ahead of it. So like think about next year right now.
Yeah, we did not do a great job of actually putting organic material over the top of our garden this last year. And so we kind of, I kind of think building your soil, you have to put stuff back. And obviously soil is a huge thing when you're talking gardening. So, we probably next year really need to work on how we go amend our soil for the following season. That's something we probably didn't do a great job of.
Tammy, how are you unsubbed? You're like our biggest fan. How are you unsubbed? Or maybe you're not talking about us. Yeah, rabbit manure is like the very best because you can put it on right away. It's not hot. So you can collect it and put it on your garden the same day.
Well, what was the question?
There wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah, YouTube's kind of funny about that.
About what?
Unsubbing people. Tammy was unsubbed.
Tammy, you were unsubbed?
I know.
You're like, you comment on every video. We look forward to that.
Thank you, True Joy. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to everyone tomorrow. Hello, Bassam. Hope I'm saying that right. Okay, so we had some questions. And I hope that I'm pronouncing your name right. It's a really pretty name. Am I Ronnie? Maybe? She asked us one easy plant to grow and enjoy. Herbs, fruits, or vegetables. The herbs I like to grow that are really super easy are chamomile and calendula. Just like what I said before, you just throw them in the ground and they will come up every year. Fruit and vegetable, I love pumpkins. I think pumpkins are my favorite to grow because they're just they're just really pretty and they're easy and you get a lot of food out of them. So,
yeah.
I like them. What about you?
What was
like your favorite? Did we already talk about that?
Tomatoes. I love tomatoes. I can take cherry tomatoes and pick them right out of the garden and eat them. I think
Thank you, crafting squirrel.
There's definitely there's a difference in taste between tomatoes that you pick from your garden or if you get tomatoes even if you go buy tomatoes from like an Amish auction or something like that. There's a difference in taste. I don't know why.
Then if you grow them yourself.
If you grow them yourself, yeah.
It's all that hard work you put into it.
Maybe.
Yeah. How do we unwind after a day of housework was another question that we got. We like to read. I don't get to read as much as I would like to. I read to the kids all the time. As we're all just sitting together in the evening or throughout the day. But I do like once in a while I'll read. Like that Gaining Ground book was really good. I read one about the yellow fever, which was really good. I like to read about historical stuff a lot. And describe our homestead in 5 words. That's one of the questions, one of the questions that we asked at Baker Creek was describe your homestead in 5 words.
We'll save that one for the end.
Okay, we'll save that one. Table that one for now. Let's see. Do we have another one? I think so. How long have we been doing this? We started YouTube last February, right?
Yep.
Yeah, last February, so not very long.
February's like 2nd or 5th, somewhere in there.
And it really kind of took me a long time to really get into it. He came to me one night, he's like, have you ever thought about doing YouTube? I said, of all the things I have ever thought about, that is not one of them. But now I like it, now I enjoy it, and I think that we're getting better as we go along. Do you always wear a hat?
No, I don't wear a hat every day. I work off farm, and I have to comb my hair every day. But when I'm at home and when I'm working on the farm, I wear a hat. Yeah.
What chickens do we like the best? I like the old type of chickens, the Bardocks.
Heritage breeds, yeah.
The Bardocks and the Buff Orpingtons, and we had a really pretty speckled Sussex rooster that was really beautiful, even though he was mean. And all of our chickens that are laying right now are laying brown eggs. Our Americanas are not laying for some reason, even though they should be.
I think a breed that we really, really are looking forward to having our farm are black copper Morans, but we tried to hatch them this winter and it didn't go well. So we have one like blue copper Moran or a gray copper Moran, and then we think we might have a rooster, but we're
All
not
right.
sure.
So sorry. She meant farming and homesteading. How long have we been doing that?
Oh,
Well, we moved here in 2017.
yep.
So just in the springtime.
But we also,
late spring is when we
before
moved.
that, I grew
Or
up.
no, summer.
Yeah, I grew up on a farm as a kid from about the age of 9 till I was probably, till I moved off when I was 18. So I grew up on a farm. We had chickens, cows. We never did pigs, and we did gardening and stuff like that. And then she lived on a farm from like probably what
For like 3 years maybe.
10 to 13 or
we
something
had
like that.
beef cows, but we didn't have any interaction with them. We weren't allowed to really interact with them, of course, except when they get out, and we'd have to chase them back, or my mom actually would have to go and chase them back. So that's a vivid memory of my mom. Sorry, Mom, being in the front yard chasing our cows.
Her mom's like, "We love you, Pam," but she's like 5'1". She's not very tall in stature.
Yeah. So, but we had a garden at our old place for a couple of years before we moved. Green Acre Homestead said, first time here, found you guys from Prep Setter Bob. Thank you.
Thank you.
We need to get a fainting goat. That does sound funny.
So we kind of have a rule that I've never eaten goat meat, so I'm kind of resistant to goats. But she's got me kind of convinced on the dairy goats. But so that's something that we might be looking into in the next year or so. But fainting goats doesn't sound fun. Probably wouldn't make it very long out here because we have a lot of predators out here.
Yeah, and they jump on that.
Yeah.
Any permaculture projects in the future? That's something that we've looked into. We're not very well versed, I don't think, on.
No, it's not something we really studied up on. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. We just don't know that much about it. Yeah, Sowing Your Heart says, I have a male and female black copper Moran. Could put them in a honeymoon suite and in a few weeks send you fertilized eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
I think we need to get a new incubator.
Yeah, we probably need to get a new incubator because we started having problems with our incubator right after I put out our 5 tips for raising.
Quit.
No, 5 tips for incubating or hatching eggs or something like that. So I think that's actually why our hatch rates were so down this winter was we started having problems with that in the middle of both of them.
Yeah, that was a bummer. I mean, it works fine for.
Yeah, we had relatively good hatching rates before that. So
How do you make a goat faint? Don't they just like do it on their own?
it's some sort of acid or something that's in their already in their
Rye Farm
bodies.
said that they would go up and sneak up to their neighbors and make them faint. Do you scare them?
I think they just faint.
We're in Missouri. We're outside of Kansas City. Barely startle them.
What's Rat Farm say?
All you have to do is barely startle them.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
I've never seen a fainting goat, so it'd be interesting.
There's a lot of people over North Carolina, Virginia area. A lot of homesteaders. That's cool. There's a lot in Missouri too. Sowing Your Heart is 2 to 3 hours from us.
Cool.
North or south? Yeah, Justin Rhodes does have a lot of great permaculture stuff going on. He's like the king of permaculture.
I like how Justin does his.
It might need to
systems.
be cleaned out, Tammy. Yep.
I like how Justin does his systems. I work in manufacturing off the farm, so I like processes and systems. So it's interesting to see the way he kind of uses a symbionce of everything he does and tries, and he's willing to try different things as well, which I think is interesting. So yeah.
And it's nice even when the things don't work, and he still puts it up and shows us.
Yeah. I think that's part of homesteading, if you want my opinion, is showing or learning from your failures.
Yeah.
Because we've had a lot of failures.
Yeah, I think that should be like our tagline or something.
White House lives in Missouri too,
Yeah.
in case anybody didn't know that.
I don't know what they're gonna do when they move though and have to change their channel name.
What are they? Yeah. Okay. I can actually start to read these comments as my eyes get tired.
I can't see them from over there. Farm Alarm wants to know where is Missouri.
I don't know.
It's like right in the middle.
Yeah,
somewhere.
something like kind of in the middle of the country. It's hilly to the south and hilly to the north, and it gets flat in the middle. That's all I know.
No, just they've talked about because they rent.
Way to go, Jess. Now you
Sorry, well
started
they're
a rumor.
practically taking over. Everybody loves them.
Started a rumor.
They're not currently moving, that we know of. Ozark, the town or Ozark Mountains? Because the Ozark Mountains are awesome. There you go.
There's the answer.
Problem solved. I've been to
Oh, hell.
Ozark, the town. I used to go, or I went to College of the Ozarks. So I had friends that lived in Ozark, Missouri. Off-white house. Off-white house on the mountain. You should do that. Go for that. All right, so let's see. What else should we talk about?
Well, we're at an hour.
Oh, already? Do we only have an hour?
Well, no, but let's do our 5 questions.
Hold
our
on.
5
Will we be
words.
at Homesteaders of America? That's the one in Virginia, right? Is that the one in Virginia?
Yeah, it's in Virginia.
We don't
Probably
know.
not this year.
Yeah.
We talked about it, but
It'd be a cool road trip because we don't like to fly.
Yeah, that was the conversation, was one of us flying out there and doing it, but
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, we'll see.
Thank you, Sonia Hart. We will let you know.
Yep.
Yes, thank you to White House and Farm Alarm for modding our
Yes,
channel.
thank you guys very much. We appreciate that.
Yeah. The Pratts have a cool channel too.
Yep.
Okay, so 5 questions or
Describe our
5
farm.
words.
Describe our channel, our farm.
Do we have to alternate?
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, you go first.
That means I go 3 times.
Fine.
Chickens.
Kids.
Family.
Chaotic. I got it.
Beautiful. Go ahead. You're 6th.
6?
Yeah, that's
You
your
need me
6th.
an extra one?
Yeah, give you an extra one.
I don't know.
Well, that landed really well.
No,
just kidding.
Herbs?
Herbs. Okay,
I don't know.
cool. Awesome.
You forgot the big one, loving. Aw, we do love each other, Tammy. We love you guys for watching. We really appreciate all the support. All the new subscribers, all the ones that have been around.
Yeah.
Faith, yes. See, we get nervous.
We get
Can't think of
nervous.
the good ones.
I think faith is definitely a big one,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Amen to that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'm not really sure how to sign off because you guys normally aren't there looking at us when
You can punch them.
you want me to do the whole we're out
We'll
thing?
just say good night.
Yep.
See you in the next one.
We will do one of these again.
Yeah,
We
this was a
enjoy it.
lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Hopefully we'll have better voices next time.
Thanks again, guys, for coming by, and we will see you guys. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. You guys are amazing. We will talk to you guys. Throw the phone